Yo, what is going on, you guys? This is me, Jason, aka Titans Daily, and welcome back to another week 7 pick'ems. Um, Last time I did this, I went 9-6 in week 6. Some of the games I missed was the Chicago Bears beating the Washington Commanders, the Bills losing to the Atlanta Falcons, the Titans losing to the Raiders, of course. A couple others that I missed, but I think this will be the week that we can turn it all around. So if you guys are enjoying this series, hit the like button down below. I appreciate all of your support. And if you guys are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date on whenever I upload videos like this. And let's get started with the Pittsburgh Steelers travel to the Cincinnati Bengals Thursday night football tomorrow night. So I'm going to take the Steelers in this one. Cincinnati just has a lot of injuries. Joe Burrow is going to be out for at least another month. Honestly, that's just gut wrenching. Also, I'm filming this 2 days after Brian Callahan got fired from the Titans. They, brought in interim head coach Mike McCoy, um, who was I think he was like a senior assistant, I think. And he said in his press conference today that he's just going to let Cam be Cam. And, that's honestly cool. But we'll get to the Titans Patriots game, aka Mike Vrabel's homecoming, here in a few minutes. The Rams take on the Jags in London for the 9:30 game. I know it says 6:30, but I got this from a Pacific time thing. So if the time's messed up, that's why. I do have the Rams winning this game. I do think the Rams are one of the best teams in football. Um, Even though they won't have Puka, right? They're still going to have, Kyron Williams, Matt Stafford, um, you know, Devontae Adams. It's still going to be, they still have a really good defense. Um, so I got the Rams over the Jags in London in that one. Moving on, we got the New Orleans Saints versus the Chicago Bears in Chicago. I got the Bears. The Saints honestly haven't looked. Oh, looks like I'm offline. Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. As I was saying, Chicago Bears look really good against the Commanders Monday night. I know they kept the game-winning field goal, but the weather was kind of iffy. It was raining on and off the whole time. I got the Bears in this one, taking down the New Orleans Saints. Next up, we have the Miami Dolphins versus the Cleveland Browns. This is going to be a very low-scoring game, I think. The Dolphins have the slight edge over the Browns because Tua did lead them on a game-winning drive, and then their defense just collapsed. Jalen Phillips couldn't get a sack on Justin Herbert. It was just very, very awful to watch. And, watching that was very stressful. And then Cameron Dicker kicks the game-winning field goal for the Chargers. It was crazy. But I do have the Dolphins in this one over the Browns. Sorry, Cleveland. Next up, we do have Mike Vrabel's return to Nashville. I wonder if he's going to get a standing ovation for all that he's done with us. I almost said done to us, but all that he's done for us led us to an AFC Championship game in his second year. Um, Gave us two home playoff games, but we lost them both. Once to the Ravens in 2022, or once to the Ravens in 2021. Lost to the Bengals in 2022 with the first seed. As you guys know, we lost that game. Very tough. Evan McPherson kicked a game-winning field goal, and the Titans had 9 sacks that night rather. But I still think that the Patriots are still going to be the better team in this one, so I'm going to take the New England Patriots over the Mike McCoy Titans. Next up, we have the Las Vegas Raiders versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Chiefs took down the Lions on Monday Night Football, or Sunday Night Football, not Monday night. There was 2 Monday Night Football games last week, and there's 2 Monday Night Football games on this week. So I'm going to take the Chiefs just to be safe here. The Raiders have looked very up and down all year. I mean, last week they looked pretty good. They got 2 forced fumbles on Cam. They stole a ball from him. They got a pick from him. But Cam's like a rookie, and he's going through the growing pains. But I still think that the Chiefs are going to win this big divisional game. Now we got the Eagles versus the Vikings. I don't think the Vikings I don't see the Eagles losing 3 straight, honestly, but I'm going to go with the Eagles again. Vikings, I think they're on bye. Yeah, they were on a bye last week. So the Vikings, I mean, they still just might have some life, with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison, but I still think that the Eagles are going to win this game. So I'm going to take the Eagles in this one. I'm going to say probably like 31-17, but I would say the Eagles win this game by double digits. So give me the Eagles. Next up, we have the Carolina Panthers take on the New York Jets. This will also be a very interesting game, but I still think that the Panthers are going to win this game. They had a really good game last week against the Cowboys. Another game-winning field goal. That's another game that I missed. I missed the Panthers over the Cowboys. The Panthers won, and I picked the Cowboys. So I think the Panthers also win this game against the 0-6 Jets, which had -10 passing yards in London last week, or in Germany, wherever they played the Broncos. So yeah, speaking of the Broncos, we have the Broncos and the Giants in Denver. The Giants looked really good against the Eagles last week. Really, really good against the Eagles last week. Cam Scatterboo has made his case for Offensive Rookie of the Year, like in the front running of Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think it's Cam Scatterboo, Emeka Ibuka, and Jackson Dart, honestly. But I'm gonna go with the Broncos here. This might sound crazy, but I think the Broncos can take this game away from the Giants. I feel like it's also going to be like a game-winning field goal. It's going to be like a 24-21 kind of game, or a 24-20 kind of game. So I'm going to take the Broncos over the Giants. We got the Indianapolis Colts versus the LA Chargers in LA. This game could go either way, but I think that the Colts are a much better team than the Chargers are. Daniel Jones, a.k.a. Indiana Jones, a.k.a. the third front runner for MVP right now, behind Baker and Patrick, I think. Patrick, Baker, Josh Allen, and Indiana Jones are the leading MVP candidates, in my opinion. Baker has really looked really good. We'll talk about Baker in just a second as we get to Monday Night Football right here against the Lions. But I think the Colts have a much better team than the Chargers do. They have a way better defense. They know what they're doing. Maybe some of their wide receivers, I'm not going to call anybody out on the Colts, could be a little bit better, but I still think Jonathan Taylor is really, really good player. He could win Offensive Player of the Year. So I'm going to take the Colts in this one. Now we got the Washington Commanders going up against the Dallas Cowboys. This is probably going to be Fox's America Game of the Week. I'm going to take the Commanders over the Cowboys in this one. Dak Prescott played a decent game against the Carolina Panthers last week, but it wasn't enough to win. I mean, Rico Dowdle did have a really good game against the Cowboys because that's his revenge game, but I think this is also Mike Vrabel's revenge game, so I wouldn't be surprised if the Patriots beat the Titans like 35-3. Honestly, I don't see that. I mean, it's hard for the Titans to score as is, so we'll see what happens Sunday, but I still have Patriots over Titans, and I still have the Commanders over the Cowboys. Next up, we have the Green Bay Packers versus the Arizona Cardinals. Something about the Cardinals, I don't know. Every week they look very into their game. What I mean by into their game is like they look like they can be in it every week. Like last week they had a heartbreaking loss against the Colts, 31-27. It was tough. But I'm going to take the Packers in this one. I think Micah Parsons becomes a big problem for that Cardinals O-line. I also think Jordan Love is also doing a pretty damn good job, especially with the Romeo Doubs and what's his name? Matthew Golden has also looked really good. So I'm going to take the Packers over the Cardinals. Now we have the weirdest Sunday night football game. I keep saying Monday night football game. Sunday night football game between the Atlanta Falcons and the San Francisco 49ers. This game, honestly, after what the Niners looked like last week against the Bucks, they looked pretty all right. A little hazy at times, but they did just lose Fred Warner for the year. All my prayers go to him and his family, and I hope he makes a speedy recovery. He tore his ACL, I'm pretty sure. And the ACL injuries are just the worst thing ever in the sport. It's just, gosh, it's such a blower, But I'm going to take the Falcons considering how good they looked, how Michael Penix looked against the Bills on this past Monday night, I'm going to take the Falcons over the 49ers. Now we got the doubleheader of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Detroit Lions. Detroit honestly looked kind of underwhelming against the Chiefs. I think whenever Detroit plays from behind, they're just not as good. But when they have a good, substantial lead, they play like the best team in football. I don't know about the Lions, though, but I have a weird gut feeling that they're going to win this game. Like, they're going to come off hot. They're going to be ready to go. I think the Bucs will be without Emeka Ibuka. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think they have Chris Godwin or Mike Evans back yet. And Bucky Irving also. So it's just going to be Baker, Tez Johnson. I think his name is Brandon Johnson, who had the big touchdown last week. I think Tez Johnson also had a big touchdown. But I'm going to take the Lions over the Bucs in this one on the first Monday Night Football game of this doubleheader. Next up, we have the final game of the week, which is the Houston Texans take on the Seattle Seahawks. I almost said the Seattle Mariners, but I didn't. So I'm going to take the Texans in this one. Yes, Sam Darnold is pretty good. Yes, they got JSN and Cooper Kupp and a pretty decent defense, and they are playing at home. But I still got the Texans winning this game. You know, the Texans made a really decent run the past few weeks. I mean, they did just win against the Titans and the injury-filled Ravens, but I still got the Texans winning this one. In Seattle, it's going to be a tough game, but I got the Texans in this one. The two bye-week teams are the Buffalo Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. So they're going to sit back, probably watch some film, make sure they get their shit together. You know, hopefully they can get Lamar back, hopefully next week. And, you know, I don't know. They might be on a winning streak again. But as of right now, the New England Patriots are number one in the AFC East, which is incredible to say the least. Mike Vrabel or Shane Steichen, Coach of the Year, potentially. I don't know. That's all going to be further down the line. But we'll see how this week goes. And if you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button down below. I appreciate all of your support. And I hope you guys have an amazing day. Bye-bye.